What's up, Sioux Falls? Welcome to the show. I'm Jason Davis. I first of all want to say there are so many things that you could be doing with your time, and thank you for spending a few minutes with us and the show. It really means a lot to us. This is a really special episode. I am joined by Ron and Cindy Kersbergen, the historians and current oldest, I'm gonna get it right, the oldest healthiest active members of the Sioux Falls Corvette Club. You might be able to see in the background here, we just got done with their the annual meeting.
General meeting every month.
Yes, but this is the big meeting before the Corvette Classic, which we're going to get to. Behind us, you can see the lovely Corvette Classic merch trailer, which we thought we would feature back there. But before we get to all that goodness, there's a lot of fun things we need to talk about. First of all, you guys told me the story recently of how you met, and it, of course, relates to Corvettes. So, Cindy, tell us the story of how you guys first met.
Well, it's good, it's romantic, but I was working for the telephone company, and I was able to use my own vehicle because I had air conditioning and a CB.
CB, nice.
CB. So I was out on the highway early one Saturday morning on my way to a job to train new telephone system. And I was going down the highway, and I have this habit of falling asleep at the wheel. So I immediately, as soon as I hit the highway, got on to my CB, and I was visiting with a very nice trucker. And pretty soon he said, "What mile marker are you?" And so I told him, and he said, "Oh, you're just behind me." He said, "You got to speed up." And I said, "Well, are there any Smokies?" And he goes, "Nope, not a one. Speed up." So I sped up, and he said, "You're going to be going by two beautiful cars. I think they're Corvettes." And I said, "Okay." So in the meantime, while I'm talking to the trucker, the whole time I'm talking to the trucker, somebody was throwing in smart remarks. So as I came up on these Corvettes, one was being driven, and one was on a trailer behind a truck. And the guy that was driving his Corvette held up his CB microphone and went like that, and I went, "Oh, we found our smarty pants." So anyway, I went by these two guys in their Corvettes, and then I go back to the office on Monday, and my secretary said to me, "Were you out on the highway on Saturday in your Blazer?" And I said, "Yeah." "Well, did you go by two guys in Corvettes?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Well, one of them wants to meet you." And I went, "Seriously?" And I had just gone through a very bad divorce. I didn't want another thing to do with men. I was very happy. And so anyway, she says, "You've got to meet him, Cindy. He's so sweet. If I wasn't married, I'd marry him." So she introduced me to Ron, and the rest is history. We have not been apart in 38 years. Our anniversary is this Friday.
Wow.
And 38 years.
Amazing.
And so that's how we met. But he listened the whole time. He's very quiet and reserved. Opposites attract. Because I'm so shy, you know. And so he asked Wally. Her name was Carol, but we called her Wally because her last name was Wallenberg. And she said, "You know, I'm a member of the Sioux Falls Corvette Club. And Ron is a member of the Sioux Falls Corvette Club, and he wants to meet you." And so I went out to his shop, and I saw his cars, his Corvettes, and met him. And I asked him one time, I said, "Was it love at first sight?" And he said, "Well, you're the first girl that came in and paid attention to my cars." So I said, "Love at first sight?" And he goes, "Yeah, I guess." So that's how we met.
Oh, that's great. Such a great story. Okay, so jumping a little deeper into the Corvette Club, tell us when the Corvette Club started and a little bit about what it looked like then compared to now.
Oh boy. Okay, probably back in the late 60s, there were two young men in Sioux Falls, Lee Hockey and Lynn McDermott, and they would drive their Corvettes around the city of Sioux Falls. And pretty soon, besides their two Corvettes, there were 3 or 4 Corvettes. And then pretty soon, a few more than that. And so they got very close. And the guys were pretty much all together without the girls yet. But then they got together and they started meeting over at one of the guys' houses. Well, the Sioux Falls Corvette Club itself started with this original bunch. And what happened was they said, you know, we really should start a club. If we're going to start doing trips together, we really should start an actual club. So they voted for Chuck Weiss to be the first official president. So we actually had a president. And then they all sat around and said, well, we don't even have a name for our club yet. So they said, how about, what was it called?
Plastic Fantastic.
Plastic Fantastic. Well, Lee Hockey, one of the original members, said that is just too frou-frou. We can't have a name like that and expect that to be a good, strong Corvette club. So anyway, they made out the paperwork that we had to do to get registered as an official club. And on his way down to the post office, he went by the Sioux Falls. And he said, oh my gosh, what a great name for a Corvette club, the Sioux Falls Corvette Club. So he opened up the envelope, crossed off the rotten name, put Sioux Falls Corvette Club, mailed it in, and the Sioux Falls Corvette Club began. That's how we got started.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's great. Okay. Ron, this is one of the really, really neat things that I learned about the Corvette Club. The Children's Inn is the designated charity for the Corvette Club. And you guys do a really neat thing every month for them. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we get some information from the Children's Inn of what products or items that they need for the Children's Inn. And the Children's Inn is a place where women and children can go if they are having a troubled relationship, and it's a safe haven for the women and the children. And so basically when they show up at the Children's Inn, they only have maybe the clothes on their back, and that's about it. So we donate products that they might need, anything from some clothing to personal supplies to cleaning supplies, whatever they need. And they're welcome to stay at this Children's Inn until the situation changes for them. And so we do that every month. And then we also have, in our club meetings, we have a drawing, a 50-50 drawing. And at that 50-50 drawing, we take half of the proceeds from that, and we give that to the children every month. And then the other half goes to the person that had the winning ticket. And a lot of times, even 3 or 4 times through the year, the people that win the deal turn right around and give it back to the Children's Inn, so they get the whole proceeds and stuff. And then the last place that we gather money for the Children's Inn is at our big Corvette meet that we have out at the Black Hills every summer. And we have several auctions of could be various items or trips or whatever. And then the proceeds from those auctions that also goes to the Children's Inn. And then also the proceeds that we get from all the registrations and all that stuff, that we donate a percentage of those donations then to the Children's Inn.
That's great, and I think we had heard at the meeting tonight that this year there's going to be, I think, over 300 cars, I think, going out to the hills. Right. So, wow.
It's over 400 cars and over, what was it the other way around?
300 cars.
Over 300 cars and then over 400 people.
Wow.
Because you always figure two per car.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
But so we get people from all over the United States, Canada. We've had people from Sweden. We've had people from Hawaii, Australia. It's just absolutely so much fun and so fabulous because we have something. We have every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then everybody pretty much goes home on Sunday. But we have every day just jam-packed full of fun things to do. Yeah, now Jerry's Corvette and Chevrolet in Beersford is going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning and go until 3. And then we will try to keep everybody together because there's going to be probably close to 300 Corvettes. And we're going to caravan out to the fairgrounds, the Sioux Empire Fair.
And that's hot summer nights.
And that's hot summer nights. We moved from downtown to the fairgrounds because we needed more space. And So we'd like to have, it's free. There's going to be food vendors. There's going to be liquor. There's going to be Quick 60, which is a really kind of a neat race.
Music.
And music. So just, what's the name of Dave's group?
Last Call.
Last Call. Last Call is going to be playing for us. So anybody's welcome.
And a lot of the proceeds, again, go to a great cause.
Yes.
Yep, they go to the children's.
Yeah,
Which
any
is-
money's made will be going to the Children's Inn.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Yeah, you bet.
This has been a lot of fun. And again, guys, come down to Jerry's in Beersford and then Hot Summer Nights. Check out some really, really fun, cool cars and have a great time. It's going to be a blast. Thanks again for joining us for What's Up Sioux Falls. And as always, we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Yep.